What we want to convince you about today is that the essence of everything that you want is fully active in your vortex. But we also want you to understand it's not just the essence of it that's fully active. It's the path. It's the full-blown path. It's the understanding of everyone who will help you along the way stop pretending that you have a different reality than I do. You don't say that, do you? Because you accept that your dog does have a different reality than you do, has a different ability to hear and see and smell and taste. The beasts of your planet are much more in alignment with their inner beings, and therefore they're having a much fuller physical experience than you often are allowing yourself. And so if you can accept that there is a vibrational frequency that you can get better and better and better at tuning yourself to, then the fun begins. Because so often you think that the fun is, oh, just give it to me and then I'll have fun. When I have all the money I need, then I'll start having fun. Or when I get that job, then I'll have fun. Or when I find that mate, then I'll have fun. And we say, you can't get there from there. You've got to be ready to be ready, to be ready, to be ready, to be ready. And what you're going to discover, if you can hear us clearly today, or maybe what you've already discovered because your life has already shown it to you, is that it is as satisfying to be ready for this as it is to be ready for this. When you really get it, that it's the process. You've been saying it as humans for a long time, that the joy is in the journey, but few of you really meant it. What you meant is, I'll put up with the crappy, happy journey if it will get me what I want. That's what you really meant. And then you said, but hurry up, but hurry up. But after a while, when you begin to accept that life is continuing to cause you to put more things into your vortex, and more things in your vortex are reaching maturation, and that those that are ready for you to be received, if provided you're in the receiving mode, you'll begin getting the impulses, and oh boy, does it feel good as it becomes. You'll reach the place where a day will be full of rendezvous after rendezvous after rendezvous after rendezvous after rendezvous. You will feel like there is a concierge in the sky orchestrating every wonderful thing that happens to you. And in fact, it is just that way. So, we are eager to visit with you about anything that matters to you. It is our desire to help you to realize how close to the receiving mode that you're in, and to maybe help you soften resistance on some points that are stuck in your vibrational craw, that are keeping you from being the receiver of what you want. We love it when you find understanding. We like it so much when you deliberately tune to the frequency of who you are, because then you allow your inner being, who is always flowing to you and through you, to be realized by you. You can't block us. We're still flowing to you and through you. But if you don't know it, it's not good for you. Still good for us, but it's not good for you. Still good for us, but not good for you. And when you are in the receiving mode, when you receive that clear thought that we are thinking, that clear knowing that we are holding, when you allow yourself that, then the satisfaction that you feel is your indicator of our alignment. Because your emotions, and satisfaction is certainly an emotion that we are going to be focusing on here today. When you realize that your emotions are your indicator of how much of your inner being you are allowing yourself to realize in this moment, how much of the fullness of who you are you're allowing yourself to recognize, the better you feel, the more open to your wholeness that you are. The worse you feel, the more pinched off you are. And you can give every excuse in the world, and you can find excuses that are even believable by the masses around you. You can explain why you hate that person, and how much you hate that person, and how justified you are in hating that person, and a whole lot of others will agree with you, but your inner being won't. And your inner being is the only relationship that matters to you, because your alignment with your inner being is your gateway to the fullness of who you are. And living happily ever after is all about that, and only that. So, what do you want to talk about? It's going to be a good day. A particularly good day. Yeah. Who are you people? You're after it, aren't you?
Thank you. My questions have been answered.
Yes?
Yes.
So now you're just showing off?
I'm showing up.
Yeah.
And it is a gift just to be in this seat.
We've enjoyed this interaction immensely.
I'm not going anywhere.
We could meditate. What do you want to talk about?
This is going to sound maybe a little selfish, but when I connect, like right now, and when right before you pointed at me, my hands get activated. And I never know what to do with that.
Well, it's an indication of a little resistance, and that's all right. When Esther first started to receive us, she was sort of erratic in her motions. Jerry took some videotapes that you will never see. Because she and he was summoning more energy than Esther was able to receive. And so it's just an indication of some resistance that you're in the process of just relaxing. Because once you're fully connected, then it's seamless. Your source energy flowing in your physical body, and you don't have any sensations of that. Yes?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes. Right now.
So the idea is to just relax, to accept the perfection of your asking, and emphasize in your mind your readiness, because of course if you weren't ready, we would not have found you. So there is readiness, but there's a little tension, and that tension is, we've talked about it 2 or 3 times already, it's trying too hard to make things happen. Rather than just letting things happen, it's trying to make things happen. And that comes because you've wanted to be deliberate creators, and you've wanted to be responsible, and you've wanted to be all of these things, and you want to be efficient and effective and all of those things. And we want you to be all of those things too, and you've queued them all up in your vortex. But now it's time for you to just relax a little bit and let your best thought inspire you. The thought, when it happens in meditation, the best thought for you is, I'm willing. I'm willing. I'm willing. I'm satisfied. I'm satisfied, because there's a sort of tension in, what's this feeling about? What am I supposed to be receiving? Why is it not coming clear to me? What should I be saying? Should I be recording this? Should I be writing this down? Is this really important? What should I be doing with this? Nothing. Nothing. Just let it flow. Just get used to the feeling of it. Just be willing. Esther had a really good teacher help her learn how to drive the monster bus. They were driving these 45-foot Prevost buses and towing a car behind them down crowded freeways, and Esther was doing most of the driving. And she got such good advice from this wonderful truck driver who was at the same place as Jerry and Esther were when they were receiving their bus. And Esther said, what do you know that I don't know that would be good for me to know about driving these big rigs? And he said, there are 2 things. First, only go where big things go. Seemed logical, but it was really good to know. And second, drive with your left hand and leave your right hand on your thigh. Just sit there with a relaxed hand on your thigh, because when you're like this, you're not relaxed. But when you've got one hand on your thigh, and this monster bus, it had such agility. It was such a wonderful machine. In other words, it only took one hand. Sometimes Esther would just put her hand there and just hold it steady. And she was so relaxed and so easy with this big monster machine moving down the highway. But as a result, she could drive for hours and hours and hours and had no fatigue, because she was relaxed and allowing us to do the driving. Yes?
Yes, and I hope somebody else got something out of this message, but wow, because just yesterday I got this huge inspiration that I'm ready to hit the road, get a big bus or a camper.
Yeah.
And go.
Well, we think you would love it, but only go where big things go. Really good. Enough?
Yes, very satisfying.
There you go. This is a good time for a segment of refreshment.